deeper symbolic narratives, the hidden allegories of thought, power. Annie Besant's work does not merely argue its case through logic and exposition, it breathes through symbols, through allegories that shimmer at the edges of literal understanding, inviting the reader into a more mythic mode of comprehension. To truly grasp the depth of thought power, its control and culture, we must step beyond the realm of abstract theory and into the living stories that illustrate its truths. These are not fictions in the ordinary sense, but gateways into a subtler reality where thought is not just an internal process, but a protagonist in an unseen cosmic drama. The parable of the two sculptors. Imagine two artists standing before blocks of marble, each tasked with carving a masterpiece. The first sculptor approaches his work with haste, his chisel guided by passing whims, today anger, tomorrow ambition, the next day despair. With each strike, the stone takes on jagged, discordant shapes, a chaotic monument to fragmented intention. The second sculptor moves with deliberation, pausing between each stroke to consult an inner vision, refining not just the stone but his own mind as he works. Over time, his statue emerges as a thing of harmony, its curves and planes resonating with an almost musical precision. This is no mere story about artistry, it is a metaphor for the mind itself. The marble is the raw substance of our consciousness, and the chisel is thought. Every mental impulse, whether fleeting or sustained, leaves its mark upon us, shaping not only our perceptions, but the very structure of our being. Besant's teaching here is clear. Undisciplined thought carves us into fragmented, reactive creatures, while mastered thought sculpts us into vessels of clarity and purpose. The frightening and exhilarating truth is that we are both the sculptor and the stone, the garden of the mind. Another potent symbol in Besant's work is the garden, an ancient emblem of cultivation that she revitalizes with urgent relevance. Picture a plot of land left untended. Weeds sprout unchecked, their roots tangling deep in the soil, while the few wildflowers struggle for light beneath their suffocating spread. Now imagine a second garden, where a knowing hand uproots invasive growths, sows chosen seeds, and nurtures each plant according to its season. Over time, this garden becomes not just orderly, but abundant, a self-renewing ecosystem where beauty and utility intertwine. So it is with the mind. The weeds are the unchecked thoughts, habitual resentments, idle fears, the petty distractions that seem harmless until they strangle higher growth. The cultivated plants are the intentional thoughts, deliberate virtues, focused aspirations, the quiet affirmations that seem small at first, but, over time, bear fruit beyond measure. Besant's warning is dire. Neglect turns the mind into a wasteland. Her promise is radiant. Attention transforms it into a sanctuary. But there is a deeper layer here. A garden does not exist in isolation. Its seeds travel on the wind. Its blossoms attract bees that carry pollen afar. Likewise, the mental garden is not a private retreat, but a contributing part of a greater landscape. The thinker who cultivates compassion doesn't just improve their own inner state, they release that quality into the psychic atmosphere, where it may take root in minds prepared to receive it. This is why Besant insists that mental culture is an ethical act, a contribution to the collective as much as a refinement of the self. The alchemist's furnace alchemy is often misunderstood as the crude pursuit of turning lead into gold. Its true aim, as Besant well knew, was always the transformation of the self. In her symbolic lexicon, the mind is the alchemist's laboratory, where base impulses, the lead of fear, greed, and illusion, are subjected to the fires of discipline, until they transmute into the gold of wisdom and will. The process is neither quick nor easy. The alchemist must maintain constant ether, steady application of attention, without which the work fails. Impurities rise to the surface in the form of old habits, resistances, and distractions, and must be skimmed away again and again. Yet for those who persist, the reward is not merely personal mastery, but participation in a grander mystery, the revelation that the mind, rightly directed, can touch the eternal. Here, Besant's symbolism converges with her metaphysics. The gold of the alchemists was never just a metal, it was the light of consciousness itself, the indestructible essence that thought, at its highest, can reflect. When she speaks of purifying thought, she is not advocating repression but refinement, the slow burning away of all that clouds the mind's innate luminosity. The mirror and the lamp. Two final symbols, anchor Besant's vision, the mirror and the lamp. The ordinary mind, she suggests, is like a mirror. It reflects whatever passes before it, absorbing images without discrimination. A flattery today, an insult tomorrow. A burst of inspiration followed by a slump of doubt. Such a mind is at the mercy of circumstance, its contents dictated by externals. The illumined mind, by contrast, is a lamp. It does not wait for outer light to give it shape. It generates its own. This is the culmination of thought culture, not merely to manage mental reactions, but to become a source of intentional radiance. The lamp does not argue with darkness. It displaces it by nature of its being. Between these two images lies the entire journey of thought power. It is the movement from passivity to agency, from reflection to creation, and it begs the question, which are we? Mirrors, captives of whatever light falls upon us, or lamps whose very nature is to shine?